You think you have all the crochet tools you need? Think again. Over the past 10 years crocheting amigurumi, I tried all different tools and accessories, but these 5 crochet tools I am mentioning today are simply too good to live without them. Accessory number 3 is something that you might have at home already and will save you hours of frustration. So just come with me. Hey everyone, if you're new here in the channel, I am Bianca from Crocheniacs, and if you want to learn how to crochet amigurumi from scratch, or if just like me you love everything amigurumi related, then this is the right channel for you. Accessory number 1, Clover stitch markers. This is the small box of crochet stitch markers from Clover, and they are really good. It comes in 4 different sizes. I don't want to do this, otherwise they will fall on the floor, but they are thin and they don't open the stitches while crocheting amigurumi, which is of course the focus of this channel. I use these big ones when I am crocheting with plushie yarn, and I usually use the smaller ones for my cotton fingering amigurumi projects. They are super good. And I tried all sorts of different stitch markers in the market, and I know that some of them are better for knitting and for other crochet projects like blankets, for example, but I have seen people selling some of these stitch markers as stitch markers for amigurumi, and not all of them are good for that purpose. I know that the spiral stitch markers are better for another purpose, but as I said, some people use it for amigurumi, and I don't like to use them for that goal. I think for amigurumi, these Clover stitch markers are the best ones in the market. Accessory number 2, all-sized pins. Have you ever sewn an amigurumi only to realize that it's completely crooked in the end? Well, we have all been there at least once in our lives. And I always say here in my channel that I do not live without pins. They are very good and they serve lots of different purposes in our amigurumi journey. There is a complete video in the channel where I talk about tips for sewing, and in this video I explain more detailed why I like pins so much and how they can be used. So this is not the focus right now, but if you want I can leave the link for this video in the description and also here so you can watch it later. But please just watch these tips first. And you can see here that I have lots of different pins and pin sizes because they serve different purposes when we are crocheting amigurumi. This one is the most traditional ones. It comes in like a colorful spiral thing that I don't have anymore because they're quite old. This one you can see that is way longer. I bought this one in AliExpress, and this is really good for bigger amigurumi parts that you need to sew together. This one is like in between the size of these two. This is also a longer one that is quite helpful. And this one of my favorites, is so long, and it's not that easy to find these kind of pins, but they are awesome, especially when you're trying to place parts of a plushie amigurumi together that is a bit bigger. So having different pin sizes is really good for your amigurumi journey. Well, as I said in the beginning of this video, accessory number 3 isn't even a crochet accessory, but it's really good and it's something that you probably have at home. And I am talking about tweezers. Yeah guys, I am talking about tweezers, the ones that we use to like fix our eyebrows. They are really good for amigurumi purposes. They are really good, especially these ones that are a bit sharp. It has a very sharp point. These are perfect for amigurumi. Well, have you ever tried inserting polyester fiber in a tiny amigurumi part? It can be tricky, and this is when I think tweezers are super helpful. Or for example, hiding a tiny knot and the remaining thread of the yarn inside the amigurumi. Well, this is again a moment that I use the tweezers quite a lot. So yeah guys, tweezers are really good and they are cheap and they are useful for other stuff besides crocheting amigurumi. You can use them for precise stuffing adjustments, easily put the remaining threads of yarn inside the amigurumi, and also to fix fiber bust quite fast. You know, when you see like some dirt in amigurumi or fiber fuss, you can easily remove them with tweezers. And if you want to take a closer look to how I use tweezers to stuffing, I'll leave the link for the video where I talk specifically about stuffing here in the description so you can watch it later. Accessory number 4, the eye opener. Well, this accessory here is from a Brazilian brand, and I know the girl who developed this project, and it's quite awesome. I have to say, this idea is simple and it's really effective. And well, you might say, Bianca, why are you mentioning an accessory that I cannot find in the US or, I don't know, in Europe? Well, I will give you another option in case you don't have this kind of product with you. Because as I said, this is a Brazilian product. But I don't know about you, but I do have stitches that are super tight, and when I try to insert safety eyes in an amigurumi, especially when crocheting with cotton yarn, that the stitches are so tight and there is no stretch to open the gap and insert the safety eye, it can be really hard. And this is the moment that this accessory here is like very helpful. But for those who do not have access to this product that I'm talking about, I do have another trick to help you opening gaps to insert the safety eyes. What I usually do is, for example, this is a 2mm crochet hook size and an old one. I don't actually use that one anymore. But what I usually do is I, first of all, insert the crochet hook in the gap between stitches that I want to place the safety eyes. And once there is like a very tiny small gap, I insert a bigger crochet hook, like this one that is 4.5mm. And that way I can easily insert the safety eyes in the amigurumi. So just a recap, if you don't have the accessory, open the gap between stitches with the crochet hook that you're crocheting, the 2.2 or 2.5mm crochet hook, and if it's a small amigurumi, and then once the gap is already created, you enlarge the gap with a bigger crochet hook size, like a 4.5, 5 or 6mm crochet hook size, to make it easier for you to place the safety eyes. And accessory number 5, the eye attacher. Simply because safety eyes are not that safe for our hands. Well, if you have ever struggled to snap the back of the safety eyes in the amigurumi and you hurt your hands, well, you are not alone. I have 2 different tools here. This one is again from a Brazilian brand, the same one that I showed you before for the eye opener. This thing is really good, and this was the first one that I actually used for that purpose. Depending on the safety eye that you have, you can easily break your nails and hurt your fingers. Oh my god, sometimes it enters like this below the nail and it hurts so much. So this thing solved my problems, and it's really good, again from the Brazilian brand. But then I moved to Finland and I received these ones from, it's called Crafty Easy Tools. Well, again, this video is not sponsored, but they gave me these products to test and it's really good. This one comes in 3 different sizes. The pink one is small. Actually, this was like a prototype because they were still gathering feedback and developing the product. I don't know how it looks right now, to be completely honest with you, but this is small, medium, and large. So they are great, really, especially depending on the washer that you have. They are so hard to like press and securely place the safety eyes in the amigurumi. This thing is really helpful. So I don't know, you don't need to have all the 3 sizes. For example, if you are used to crochet with cotton yarn, probably your amigurumi are smaller, so you can simply have the small version. And if you crochet plushies, you can, well, I don't know, have the medium or large size. But they are good, they're helpful, and well, they make our life a bit easier. But now I would love to hear from you. Which crochet accessory is your favorite and you simply cannot live without? Of course, we are not talking about yarn or crochet hook, because they're mandatory. You cannot crochet without a crochet hook, and that's why it's not here in my list. I'm talking about different accessories that are good for our journey and we cannot live without them. Yeah, that's the goal. I would love to hear from you. Which crochet accessory is your favorite one? If I mentioned the ones that you like to work with, or if you have a different accessory that I didn't mention in today's video. Please let me know in the comments, and now I'll leave you this video here because I am pretty sure you're going to like it too.